My name is Mike Fallat. Built a six-figure business from the ground up, and I started from zero. A lot of people ask me, where do I come from? How did I become an entrepreneur? And what are the first things to do when you become an entrepreneur? What should they focus on? Well, I'll tell you right now, I was born over there in Sheridan, Pennsylvania. If anybody knows where Sheridan, Pennsylvania, it's kind of a really tough neighborhood nowadays. The house went for sheriff's sale not too long ago for $1,000. We moved to the North Hills, fortunately, before it started getting real bad. And I grew up in the North Hills, which is basically straight up that way. And it wasn't until about 16 years old that I fell in love with the world of entrepreneurship when I became a gas station worker for a Sunoco gas station. The entrepreneur who hired me was my mentor for years. I worked there for many years, saw what he did, learned a little bit about how he treats people, what he's trying to do, and I just fell in love with that business. He gave me the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which was actually ghostwritten by a woman named Sharon Lechter. Still my favorite book to this day, because it changed my path. What I learned from it is, I grew up in a neighborhood and a family that was blue collar, and it was all about scarcity mindset. It was all about saving money. And my grandfather was great, at working hard and blue collar mentality, and he instilled that in my dad, my mom, all of that. And I'm able to see how important it was to save money. But then, when I turned 16 and 18 years old, I realized how important it was to invest money in people, in businesses, in places that make money for you. So now you don't have to work as hard whenever you have your money working for you. And it just takes a little bit of time to understand the skills necessary in order to happen. But eventually, it all worked out because I was able to take a lot of time and energy to put myself on the line and screw up and make mistake after mistake, getting into rental property and getting into small businesses that don't make you a lot of money. And then you realize that in order to really make money in this world, you have to solve problems. And on my fourth startup is when it really took off. And I was about 29 years old, 28 years old, whenever it finally started to succeed. I was 23 when I started as an entrepreneur. It took me 5 years of just investing and blowing money. Eventually, that fourth startup started to make money. People started coming to me and saying, hey, how do I start a business from nothing? And I realized that the key was you got to have vision, you got to have simplicity, you got to have a demand. Well, I started helping entrepreneurs start their own business. Then I put all of that in a book called DreamStarter. And that is when my whole life changed. People looked at me differently. People hired me for speaking gigs. People started coming to me saying, Mike, I read your book. Looks like you're a best-selling author. I really find you credible now. Oh my God, I had no idea what you went through. Then all of a sudden the light bulb went off and said, man, if I can help entrepreneurs bring their stories to life like I did for myself, then we really have a business. DreamStarters, that's what we do, is we help entrepreneurs write their books in 30 days. And all of a sudden, now we are adding value to entrepreneurs' lives every day. Started from zero, you don't see it on my patch or on my jacket, but started from zero is my brand to show where I came from. And I believe in order to really grow your business from the ground up, you got to show your whole story, from start to finish. Where did you come from? What did you know? Who you met along the way? What did they teach you? And if you're able to do that in a concise manner, whether it's on stage or whether it's a client, then people are able to build trust with you. There's credibility born once they're able to see where you come from and who you are. And if that's not shown in your videos, your Instagram posts, Facebook posts, on a consistent basis, nobody's going to believe in you. Every day you have to show up and make sure this story makes sense from start to finish. Every day from here on out. And every time you meet someone, whether it's a potential client, potential business partner, what they're asking themselves inside is, who is this person? What do they really believe in? Are they like-minded? Is there anything that we can do together that will increase value for ourselves? And is this person worth trusting with my money, my time, my energy? You have to do this on a consistent basis in order to actually grow your business. Show where you come from. Show who you know. Talk about your life lessons all the time, because when people ask you about lessons like they ask me, they're really asking, how did you learn those lessons? And I'm telling you, that doesn't happen in a 5, 10, 15-minute speech. This happens every day of your life. Grant Cardone's, the Ed Milet's, all the big names out there, they're saying the same thing over and over and over. And eventually people are going to catch on and really trust them. Grant Cardone talks about his dad dying. Why would he say that? Because you have to know that he built his company on his own. You hear Ed Milet talking about his struggles growing up. You hear about Patrick Bet-David talking about his stories of becoming an entrepreneur, coming over from a different country. Why? Because that gets the relatability factor to a 10 when people hear him speak on stage or in person, whatever. My advice to you is this. Don't ever hide where you come from. Embrace it. Talk about what you know, what you're an expert at, the lessons you've learned throughout your entire journey, and always put yourself in the right rooms so you can add as much value to their life as possible. That's how I was able to build a 6-figure business from the ground up. That's how I recommend you can too. Check out more videos. My name is Mike Fallat. I started from zero. Your story only gets better.